Could your shop use more lighting? Well, mine sure could. Wrench Warriors, welcome back to the shop. Today, let's take a look at these $14 shop lights. $14. That's cheaper than a set of bulbs for your old fluorescent fixtures. In this video, let's unbox these things. Supposedly there's 10 in here. I don't know how the hell they did that, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna test their power consumption, see how many can be linked together safely. We'll check their light temperature, see if they're consistent across all 10 of them. And then we'll hang them up and we'll see the before and after pictures. All right, let's get into the unboxing. I'm gonna leave a link in the description for you guys, so you guys can buy these if they turn out to be any good. That way you guys aren't stumbling around in the dark in your workshop. Okay, so they're stacked 2 by 2. They're a lot narrower than normal, than I thought they would be. It's like a clown car for shop lights. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else in the box. All right, let's take a look at one of these guys. Little instruction booklet here, and the hardware kit to hang it up. Here's the contents of the hardware bag that comes with each one. You get 2 chains, you get 3 screw-in hooks here, and you get 3 screws and 3 anchors. But what's interesting is you only ever need 2 of these and 2 of these. I don't know why they include 3. All right, let's take a look at our instructions. Over here it says they consume 380 milliamps. They're 40 watts. They output 4,000 lumens. Their dimensions are 48 inches by 3.25 inches wide by 1.5 inches thick. You can use up to 4 of them linked together.
They live for 50,000 hours. They have a light distribution of 240 degrees. And a CRI number of greater than 80.
Here's some warnings that says don't shock yourself. And it shows 2 different methods for hanging them up. So one of them is you put in 2 anchors, you leave the screw hanging out a little bit, and then you slide them over. And the other one is to put into 2 eyelets and hang them by the chain. So method 1 says you're gonna take the hook, you're gonna put it through this hole. You can go up like that, and then you're gonna attach them using this eye hook. You'll screw that into the ceiling, and you'll hang them up just like that. Method 2 is you're gonna drill a hole, put this anchor in the ceiling, put the screw sticking out. Once the screw's sticking out, you're gonna bring the light up to it and slide it over like that. All right, let's check the measurements according to the instructions. It says they're 48 inches long. Looks like they're 47 1/4, so we got shorted there just a little bit. 3 1/4 inches wide, this looks to be right, and 1.5 inches thick. It also appears to be right. Power cord has an integrated switch here. Let's see how long the cord is. From the plug to the switch is 28 inches, and from that point to the other end is 28 inches again. So the whole cord is 56 inches long. Let's take a look at the fixture itself. The back here has a little white stripe here to help reflect the light back downwards. So it should cast a pretty wide beam without the metal shields that these usually have. They're really lightweight, they weigh almost nothing. All right, let's plug this one in and see if it works. Oh, seems to light up pretty nice. And let's hold it above the table. Oh, it gives off a good amount of light. Above my work desk here, I have a Costco 4-foot shop LED light, and these are about $45. They're definitely nicer quality, and they put out quite a bit of light. So let's compare how this lights up this desk. So there's our new $14 light. Costco light. Okay, let's use the kilowatt to measure the current that these things use. It's using 36 watts. It's using 0.32 amps. The manual said it uses 0.380 amps. And just for comparison, let's see how much this Costco light uses. This one's made by Feet Electronics, F-E-I-T, I believe. Okay, this one's also using 36 watts and 0.31 amps. All right, got 4 of them unwrapped. Let's link them together. So how you link these is, each one of them has an outlet at the other end. You can just plug the next one right into that. We'll plug it in through the kilowatt. See how many amps we're pulling? 1.33 amps. And the switch on these says it's rated for 2 amps. So we're well under the rating of the switch. So one switch can run all 4, just like that. I don't know the wire gauge here, but I can tell you at 1.3 amps, it doesn't matter even if this is 18 gauge. You're not gonna get anywhere close to being dangerous. Okay, well, they shipped 10 of them. All 10 of them work, but I do notice a flicker. This one here seems to have a real light flicker. The good news is all 10 of them work. None of them have any damage, and they all came with their hardware kits, and none of their hardware kits appear to be missing any pieces. All right, I wanted to have a plan for how to lay out the lights, try to get an even light distribution. So I went with 8 lights in total, 3 across the top here, 3 over here, and then 2 running the other way. There's a vent in the middle that I had to avoid. We'll see how well it works out. If you have one of these sockets, now I don't use this for a lot of things, but one nice thing is if you're driving in eyelets or hooks, man, is this nice. You stick it in there and you can drive it in with your drill. Get yourself a little 3/8 to drill drive adapter, just like that. Save your fingers, save a bunch of time, it's real great. Okay, let's try hanging our first lamp. Try the lowest setting first. See how low they hang if you use their lowest setting? They hang exactly 1 foot down. I'm gonna shorten that up. Next thing I wanted to talk about is these chains. Now I may not shorten them, but if you want a cleaner look, let's say you want to remove 2 links. Grab the link you want to remove and open up the part that's closest to the chain you're gonna keep. So we're gonna just open that up. There's 2 links removed, and we haven't altered the original chain at all, so it still looks real nice. Okay, here's the back room with no lights on, just the ambient light coming through that frosted window. Let's turn them on. That looks pretty good. I think 6 is gonna be plenty. I'm looking to see if I'm getting that flickering. I think I can see flickering. Yeah, I see flickering pretty bad. Okay, I got all the lights hung up and hooked up. I had to sort through a few of them over there on the table to find the worst of the flickerers. I was originally gonna hang up 8 of them, but 6 of them is lighting up the room great. All 6 of them are using 214 watts and 1.87 amps, so they don't use a lot of electricity. It's the left 2 that seem to be flickering, and when they're daisy chained, it seems to pass it to the other one. It's hard to see in the camera, but trust me, it's there. Okay, so now let's try hooking them all up in parallel. Even with them in parallel, I can still see these 2 flickering. And if I turn these off, I can still see them. So these 2 are probably just bad. Let's take a look at the build quality here. We can see that they're very flexible. They're not all exactly straight on the side here. They're all plastic construction, but that's not necessarily a problem for something that hangs from your ceiling that shouldn't see a whole lot of abuse. Let's crack this open and see what the build quality inside looks like. Okay, on the end here, I don't see any fasteners anywhere, but I do see these 2 little clips right here. The other end is fairly identical. Yeah, it's all glued together. So why don't we use the grip of knowledge to get in there. Inside here, in each bulb, are these little, like a little transformer, a couple of capacitors, giant resistor. Let's see if we can take apart the other end. Show me your secrets. It's like a silicone. Take a look at this end, and we look down in there, you can see that the LED strips have 3 solder pads. Each one of them does. So these 2 are wired in parallel. So what happens here is it comes into these 2 little power supplies. Here's the blue, call that the hot, just for fun. Goes in here, feeds this one, comes through, feeds that one, straight into the extra solder pad. So I'm guessing that these LED strips just have an extra trace that just carries current and doesn't have anything to do with the LED lights. Same thing on this side, call this your earth, comes through, feeds this one too, and then comes through and hits that extra trace. On the other side here, all they've done is tapped into that extra trace. So no, daisy chaining it should not have an effect on it then. I assumed it did because it looked like it was worse, but realistically, when you have a flickering light, it screws with your peripheral vision and everything else. So yeah, feel free to daisy chain them. You're not gonna save anything by not daisy chaining them. Let's take a look at the soldering, see if it's any kind of quality. None of it looks all that bad. This one isn't super awesome here. Yeah, I mean, the construction's fine. I suspect that these may not be the best caps in the world. Maybe that's where some of the noise is coming from. All right, let's talk about some pros and cons. But first, let's do our first giveaway on the channel. Let's give away this one right here. Looks like it's working great. So just leave a note down in the comments below and I'll send it to you. You just pay shipping. All right, guys, if you've been getting value out of this channel, please consider subscribing. It would help me out a ton. I love making these for you guys. The pros are these things are absolutely silent. The hardware was complete. Everything had all of its hardware. All of them worked right out of the box. That wasn't a problem at all. They were packed well enough. None of them were damaged, and they won't break or shatter, so that's kind of a thing. They're so light that if they fell on your head, wouldn't do anything to you. They did all seem consistent on color. They were all between 4900 and 5100 Kelvin. Okay, now some of the cons are, they're not UL or ETL listed, so they can't go in a commercial setting, or at least they're not supposed to. So nobody has checked these for safety, essentially. They are flimsy, but that really shouldn't matter if they're connected, if they're hanging up on the ceiling. They are built to a price, and that's a very low price. I've had some problems with a couple of them flickering, but in the reviews, one reviewer said that over time, out of the 10 he bought, 3 started flickering real bad. But then he said he reached out to the manufacturer and they sent him 4 replacements. They replaced all 3 and a bonus one. So Bbounder is responsible and will help you out. The problem is, will they be around in 2 years, a year? Who knows? So would I buy these? I would consider buying the Sunco 10-pack. That's S-U-N-C-O. I'll put a link in the description. The 10-pack is 170 bucks. This 10-pack was 140. The Sunco has a metal chassis and it is ETL listed. Somebody has at least checked it for some safety. So all right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you guys back in the shop next time.